We now have the opportunity to talk to a man who's been with us for a few years here in the locker room, as he is a member of the locker room family. You hear him every week here in the locker room. He's been a member of the Falcons since 2015, a decade strong, knocking heads around for the Atlanta Falcons. And now a situation where a lot of things are going on and converging at one time, and the perfect time to talk to our defensive tackle, Grady Jarrett.
The biggest football coverage in the South requires the biggest hitter on the line.
Wilson under pressure, right on cue. Grady Jarrett.
Atlanta's Pro Bowl defensive end Grady Jarrett is only on the Fan every week after the game.
Brady's in trouble again, and it's Jarrett yet again.
Presented by Grady Hospital, keeping Falcons fans healthy since 1892. Atlanta can't live without Grady.
Grady Jarrett with a huge sack.
And he joins us now for the first time here in studio. Number 97 on the field, number one in your heart, Grady Jarrett, joining us here for the Grady Jarrett Show, an extended version, and a good time and a bad time. We wish we were still playing in the playoffs, wish we would be in the Super Bowl, but now that you have a time to step away and observe what went on with you guys and observe the playoffs, we'll get into, if you've been watching playoff games, what you're going to do for the Super Bowl, but a different time. You know, you want to be playing at this time. 10 years, how does it feel? Does it feel like 10 years? Does it feel like it's gone by quickly? Or, you know, there have been spots where it's been long and been short?
I mean, I feel like it's went by pretty fast, you know. It's been definitely a process, you know, every year, whether it's between like just preparing to go out there, have your body in position to have a really good season, healthy season, and just the grind of the season. I mean, it's so funny how fast the season comes, how fast it goes, but when you're in the middle of it, it seems like it's taking forever, you know. So it's been fast. I mean, I can remember yesterday, like I was in, you know, college, high school. So to be 10 years down in the NFL, and a lot of guys have like they want to reach 10 years and they make 10 years and they be good. But I mean, I'm at this point now, I can't really, I want to play so much more, you know what I'm saying? So it's like I'm so unsatisfied and just loving the game more than ever right now. So I know it's a lot of football out there for me, and I'm just, you know, taking it year by year, man. So it pushed me to continue to go. Because you know, as a competitor, as your career extends, you know, there's not as many guys that came in with you that's still there. Yeah. And then just to try to be the last one standing, or just be to continue to be a productive player. And the older you get, it means a lot.
Who's still here? That since you got here back in 2015.
Jake Matthews. You know, Jake is got a year ahead of me. Came in 2014. I came in 2015, and he the only one that's been on the team longer than me. And you know, not a bad guy to be behind.
That's pretty special. You got to go back. You got to go back and think about guys that have been on one team in the NFL for a long, long time. It's pretty rare to think about the company that you are in, to be a decade on the same team and really get an opportunity to build your brand. You've done a great job of that throughout the course of your career, especially you know, through the Super Bowl and then the playoffs the year after that. It's been impressive to watch you grow and do the stuff that you're doing. Have you made that a point of emphasis for you kind of later in your career to build a little bit more your foundation and then what you're going to do moving forward?
It's been a point of emphasis just because I wouldn't say a point of emphasis. I would say it's something that naturally happens the longer you're in a place. My main focus is being a great football player, you know, and like I always say, if I'm not good at what I'm doing on the field, all the off the field stuff, it loses the impact that it has, because it loses the stretch. Because if I'm not producing on the field, I'm not going to be here, you know. And this platform that I have is elevated being a part of the Falcons, you know, being in the NFL. So my main focus has always been to be the best player I can be. You know, things like you know, everything that come off the field but you know, the work that we do with the foundation stuff is very, very important, and you know, change a lot of stuff like that. But I don't play football to expand my brand. I play to be a great football player, and you know, that's what I like to do, and that's what I'm not ashamed of. A lot of times, people want you to have your hand in 10 million different things and tell somebody you need to do this, you need to do that. But I mean, if you don't keep the main thing, what you want the most is going to leave you. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not ashamed of saying I want to be a great football player. I want to push myself hard as I can while I can, because you can't do this forever. And the effort that I put into being a great player is takes a lot of energy. And I love the things that come with playing, but that only comes for me being, doing what I got to do on the field. And that's I want to be remembered as somebody who definitely, did do what I do off the field, but I want to be a good football player.
No, we know you for being a great football player and a great person as well. This happened just yesterday, just kind of topical in the moment. Stephen A. and Cam Newton were talking on ESPN, and they're going back and forth, and Stephen A. talked about winning championships. I don't know if you saw it. I listened to this, and Cam was thrown to Cam Newton in the moment and asked about being an MVP. Would you trade it in for a championship in the NFL?
No. Pose this thought. What's more important, impact or championships? You look at a guy like Allen Iverson, you stood up on the table and blah, 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 blah. Everybody's not going to be Michael Jordan. Everybody's not going to be Patrick Mahomes. Everybody's not going to be these individuals who have the luxury of saying, hey, I not only dominated this sport, but I also have championships to back it. Like, let me remind you, Brad Johnson won a Super Bowl. Trent Dilfer won a Super Bowl. Nick Foles won a Super Bowl. So, yes, when you look at those guys and you say, okay, what's more important? Would you have preferred to win a Super Bowl? I think that's the humble approach. But if we're being honest, and you can say as an MVP award winner or an All-American, you've held yourself or you've held your end of the bargain down.
Do you feel a certain way at all when you hear that? And when you hear Cam talk about it, because I think when you're a quarterback, it might be a little bit different to be the MVP of the NFL and not trade that in. But you haven't played in the Super Bowl and obviously didn't go the way you wanted it to. Do you feel a certain way when you hear something like that?
I definitely think with Cam being Cam, he has a special opinion about that because, this guy at one point was the number one football player in the NFL, and that's something to be proud of. But you also have to speak from being a past player now, the things that, work best in your favor and what his legacy is now. I'm sure he would have loved to win a Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? And if he did win a Super Bowl, I don't think that's something that he would say. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think he's wrong for feeling that either, though, because at the end of the day, he can only control the control. And if you put your best effort, that don't mean that his career was a failure because he didn't win a Super Bowl. How many people have won, MVP? You got to think at the top of, I competed against him that year when he, won the thing, and they did us bad. You know what I'm saying? But that don't make me a hater in the fact that saying I wasn't one of the best, best years as a quarterback that you done seen. You know what I'm saying? It was straight dominance, and that was something to be proud of. So I hear what he's saying. But I don't think and I honestly don't even think he's saying winning a Super Bowl isn't important. But to say if we say Nick Foles because he won a Super Bowl is better than Cam Newton, that's not true. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. Yeah. And I feel like that's what he's saying. And I think we all compete in this game to win a Super Bowl, win a championship, to be all pros, to be to be all pros, to make Pro Bowls. That's something to be proud about, And some people who can't achieve those things will make you feel like that's selfishness, chasing those accolades when it's not. You're chasing greatness, and a Super Bowl is that's the great of the great. But when you talk about individual contributions to a team, to a city, to a legacy, you can be proud of those as well too. Right. And every year I want to make the playoffs. Every year I want to win a Super Bowl. Also, every year I want to make the Pro Bowl. Every year I want to be an All-Pro. That doesn't make me a selfish player. And does it happen every year? No. But my pursuit of that makes me be a better teammate, because the better I am, the better the team is going to be. And when you look at it like that and you draw those two parallels, you don't ever put yourself before the team. But you got to look at it like, if I'm the best me, and that's not being an undisciplined player, not doing your job, doing this and that, within the scheme or whatever the coach want to do, that's going to make the team better. And if that give me Pro Bowl, that give me All-Pro, and shoot, if it even give me a Super Bowl, we did what we had to do. But, so I think people are offended by just Cam's or sometime and the things that he say, because he obviously super confident, sometimes cocky, but I understand what he's saying.
It makes it sound like he doesn't care about the Super Bowl.
But I wouldn't say that. I didn't get that from that.
No.
Okay.
And
Definitely makes you think a little bit.
I didn't get that from that, but I see where people can take that and run with that.
Grady Jarrett joining us here in studio on the Fan 680 93.7 FM.
Grady, you always talk about being the best version of yourself. Rewind the calendar year. We had you on air. You were super emotional. We understood the knee injury happens. You came back this year, and honestly, it never looked like you had been injured at all. What was that like going through it as a player who had been at the top of the game forever and then having the game stripped away and trying to have to build yourself back to being back for this year?
Yeah, man, it was tough. It was a tough road. I'm going through now this offseason, not rehabbing from a major injury. So I'm like, dang, like this time, I got this time to really put in. You know what I'm saying? But I think me pushing myself in that time was just so critical, so important, and me really locking in day by day. It seemed like them days was long then, but as the season got here and as I got through the season, everything was just so much worth it because I was able to go out there and be my best self I could in that moment. And it was still good, you know what I'm saying? And but it took a whole bunch of work, man. It was super, like you say, being out the game and missing the season was tough. But I wasn't gonna let that define my career. That wasn't gonna be how I was gonna go out. I wasn't gonna let that slow me down. And that was my fight every day. And I wanted to come back to being a super productive player. And coming back this year, led the interior linemen in tackles, led the team to tackle for loss, second on the team quarterback hits. I only ended up with 2.5 sacks, which was definitely, not my goal. But definitely, whatever between the scheme, what I'm asked to do. Could you be better? Yeah, you always could be better. But when you look at the whole picture of it, considering, coming back from a knee injury and doing this and that, I'm proud of the effort that I put forward, but I know that the best is yet to come because having this full time to train and get right and do what I need to do. Got a new scheme coming up, got a break back in town, so I'm excited back to attack the line of scrimmage and to just really get to what we need to do.
Did you think, Grady, that was there a moment you felt like you got some spring back? For me, coming off back-to-back ACLs, when I was playing, it took a minute for that spring to come back.
It definitely take a minute. And then for playing in my position, you got to realize I didn't have a training camp ACL. I didn't have a week 3 ACL. Right. I had a mid-season ACL playing defensive tackle.
It's crazy.
And that's something, you don't come back from that fast, So the work to take on double block, to take on double teams, to pursue, to rush the pass, to do these things like that's something that just is something that's just special, and to hear and see people be like, oh man, come back, look at missing step. Yeah, I'm out here with one leg. You know what I'm saying? And
it takes a minute to get it back.
It ain't about whether year 10, year this, and because you line it up, put the weight on the ball, put line up on the field. Ain't nobody check the numbers. You know what I'm saying? Right. All that stuff Like I do this. This is what I do for life, and it's that important to me. It's not that important to everybody else. So at the end of the day, I'm gonna be able to put my best foot forward whenever I can, and my best when I can.
It's just super impressive. Sorry, home team. You mentioned scheme, and I don't know what you felt about the scheme last year, and where you think you fit the best, or if you were used properly. And you don't need to throw anybody under the bus, but you got a new defensive coordinator coming in now, and you're familiar with Jeff Ulbrich. He's worked with you before on your defense. You excited about it? And then talk about maybe what scheme you think might fit you best.
I'm super excited about Coach Ulbrich coming back, man. He'll tell you, I'm sure he's a different coach than he was when he's here now, just all the growth and different positions that he's able to be in. He's able to be a head coach, able to be a full-time D coordinator, have super success. So, I'm excited to have him back. And I'm excited to go attack the line of scrimmage, do what we got to do. And then as far as schematically, I've been blessed to be able to play in a lot of different schemes, have a lot of different coordinators throughout my career, position coaches that all have, definitely poured into me, and, really just testing my football acumen, because when you say, this guy's only a 3-4 guy, this guy's only a 4-3 guy, but to be able to play in a old school 4-3 to be able to play in a 3-4, kind of old school 3-4, then play like in this new hybrid kind of 3-4. And I'm speaking between, playing for Dan Quinn, playing for Dean Pease, playing for, Jimmy Lake last year. Just like this, all these are different guys, different philosophies. And then within all them schemes, I'm finding a way to ball. You know what I'm saying? So for me as a football player, to be a complete football player, that's important because I can't say I'm going to get a coordinator, they only run this, so I need to go leave to go do this. I got to adjust, I got to learn. And it's a new challenge for me every year. And keep it fresh too. But I think for me, and not even for me, just for the game of football. And I was watching Brick press conference, and they was asking him, like, what kind of scheme you going to run, this, and that. And he tell you, the way the offense are now, you got to be flexible to play anything. Some weeks you might have to play a 5 down front. Some weeks you can only play 4 down, 3 down. You know what I'm saying? And it's just the way and it's just positioning where guys are, whether they standing or down or this and that or, certain times. But I think it's good to keep it mixed up. You got to be able to adjust when you get certain looks and things like that. So I'm excited about it. When you have a coach that's going to be willing to adjust, but at the same time, not just adjust and just wait to see what the offense is going to do, but to go attack. To stay on, to keep the foot on the pedal, and we also going to do things to to make them sweat too. We're just not going to sit back and just hope for the best and just hope something gets fixed out and just you panic and you just call I don't know. So I'm excited to be going where we're going, and I definitely trust in Brick a lot, and I can't wait for the guys that's here now that haven't been able to experience playing with him, playing for him, to experience that. And I'm ready to experience, the new and improve, you know what I'm saying? And so God is super, super hungry.
Well, you are the perfect guy to have in studio because coming up, we'll get into it, the same things that happened 10 years ago when you are a rookie have happened again 10 years later. So we are glad that you can tell us how it can be better when we return here in the locker room on The Fan with Grady Jarrett, 680, 93.7 FM.
It is Brian Finneran's birthday.
I feel celebratory today.
22 here on The Fan, 680, 93.7 FM. This is the locker room, your morning drive, 6 to 10 here on The Fan. Home team, John Michaels, and the birthday boy, Brian Finneran. Now, a good teammate just did something for you. Boogaloo is broadcasting from remote.
Carriage Kia up in Alpharetta.
Carriage Kia in Alpharetta.
Which is kind of where he lives.
He should leave his home and he head up to Carriage Kia in Alpharetta. Instead, he decides before he does that to come to the studios out of his way.
Yes, sir.
To bring birthday donuts for the birthday boy, Brian Finneran. That is good teammate work, to say the least.
Yeah, thank you very much, Buck. We appreciate the donuts this morning. I'm not sure if it was an intentional move, because unfortunately he forgot he was on remote, I believe.
No need to get into that.
Oh, I'm sorry. I won't talk about it.
See, now you just pulled a Michael. Just Michaeled him. John Michaeled him.
It was sweet of Buck to do that, but I feel bad now because he was so focused on bringing donuts for my birthday that he forgot that he drove right by the place he's supposed to be broadcasting.
Yeah, he drove like an hour to go somewhere that was like 10 minutes away. Grady, we got to ask you, since we're on this topic, our show, we have one of these long text strings. Like, it's part of show prep, whatever. But a lot of stuff that's said on there is meant to stay on the text string.
Okay.
I have been accused sometimes of taking some things, and Finn has done it as well. Do you guys have anybody that you can't tell stuff to? I won't tell you to put their names, but are there teammates you got to be careful around that'll say anything to everybody?
Sometimes, but it's a big rule. Some things that's talking about in a team meeting, you don't do. I remember one time a player had talked about something, a young player too, he didn't know no better. Talked about some things that, this is back when Coach Smith was here, talked about some things that we just was, and it wasn't nothing bad, it was just something that we just talked about in a meeting. He should have never said anything. But, and Coach Smith put up a video of, look at me telling. This is funny stuff. This is good stuff. Because a lot of people didn't see this side of Coach Smith. He was pretty funny, like kind of like sarcastically with stuff. And, they're like a Fight Club. Y'all seen the movie Fight Club?
Oh, yeah.
And so like, and some guy talks about, yo, man, this happens in Fight Club. And they end up finding a guy who was talking. It was like, hey, look, man, you don't talk about what happened in Fight Club.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? You can't. So basically, you can't talk about what go on behind closed doors and when somebody. I mean, I don't know which one of y'all be breaking the rules coming off the text thread. You got to start a new group chat. You're gonna get kicked out the group chat.
Locker room 5.0.
Don't get kicked out the group chat, man.
Well, we were talking earlier about a movie out there. There's a pitch to add something to the state of Georgia. There's a House bill that's being proposed to make cornbread the official bread of the state of Georgia. Are you a cornbread man? If you are, do you like it sweet, unsweet, butter, no butter?
I like cornbread. I like it, both ways, like sweeter, like more is like kind of like that, more like buttery, just salty kind of taste. But I like it. I don't have to have it. But like Mom and them, they do good cornbread. They used to do a good cornbread. They like it more like sweet. But when I've had it like not sweet, it's been like out somewhere. You know what I'm saying?
If you
Like
have
a barbecue joint or something.
Yeah.
If you have it and it's yours, you don't want anybody to take it.
Oh no.
You gonna eat your cornbread?
You talking to me?
Yeah, I think he's talking to you.
No, not at all. I want you to have it. Hey, no, I ain't man. Don't pass your cornbread to him, but that's your cornbread. Ray, I'm a grown man, okay? I'm not gonna eat this cornbread. If he wants the cornbread, damn it. Have the cornbread. If he wants some cornbread, let him go up to the front and get his own portion of cornbread. That's your cornbread. Hey, man, he gonna eat his cornbread, all right?
Maybe I ought to eat your cornbread.
You can't have my cornbread, that's for damn sure. Because if you try to take my cornbread, part 2 of my killing spree gonna begin up in here on your ass right now. If you think about my cornbread, get the taste out your mouth, that's for damn sure. Because I'm from New York City. Nobody take no cornbread from me. You f around with me, it's gonna be consequences and repercussions.
So
Have you seen Life?
Oh, come on, man. That's classic right there. That's classic right there. Yes, sir.
So we hope we have cornbread initiated to the state lexicon. So you're the perfect guy, perfect time to talk about what's going on around here. 10 years ago, Dan Quinn was the head coach of the Atlanta Falcons.
Yep.
Dan Quinn started off 6-3. Dan Quinn ended up finishing 8-8, and the Falcons, you guys missed the playoffs.
Yep.
10 years later, Raheem Morris is coach of the Falcons. You start off 6-3. Coach Raheem Morris and the Falcons missed the playoffs. Now there's an extra game at 8-9. Your thoughts? Well, you lost your last 2, so you have another losing season. Question is, what are the expectations and what are the road bumps you have to deal with when dealing with a rookie coach? Because a lot of people thought that Raheem Morris was not up for the job after the season ended in despair.
I mean, Falcons fans got a reason to be, frustrated for sure. I'll speak on the time back in 2015. We started off 5-0 actually. Then we got to 6-3, dropped a couple games, and I remember it was 5-0. Guys we was thinking like, oh man, we're going to Super Bowl or whatever, and we ended up not even making the playoffs. And a big lesson I took from that as a young player was, to just you got to finish the job, right? And so the next year, we actually struggled a little bit early and ended up getting hot and making it to the Super Bowl. And just the difference between those 2 years, I think, were really just playing your best ball when your best is required, and knowing that any time you can get hot, but at the same time you can't let the highs be too high, And I even remember this season when we were 6-3. It was a good feeling, for me, definitely like we were struggling and past couple years and stuff like that. So we hadn't been 6-3 in a long time, and I just think we got to learn from that and just really be able to keep our foot on the gas, you know what I'm saying? And everybody got to be, self-critical at all times and things that they can get better, whether it's, execution and we got to go over mistakes that we made in the game, whether we win or lose, to continue to keep that needle moving forward. Guys got to continue to do the same treatment, same workout, same things like that to be able to keep them going, because it's a long season, And then that was one of the biggest things for me, especially coming off the ACL, was just I wanted to continue to put that work in every week, because every week is another. It's like just chipping away at your body and your health. So it's just another level of depth that we can go to, that hopefully we need to learn from, and just continue to grow. I wouldn't say that there's any excuses that need to be made. I mean, I think the proof is in the pudding as far as we just can't let our foot off the gas, and I think we just need to really just dive into the things that held us back, be able to pull that Band-Aid back and dig, and so we don't have that happen again, I can see the parallels that they're trying to draw between, Dan and Raheem, and two guys I both love playing for, and love them both, personally anyways, as like brothers. So, but I know Raheem is the right guy for this job, and nobody is more critical on himself than him. And even like, some of the conversations that we'll have, we both people who are tough on ourselves, and that's how we can have honest conversations when we do talk. And I can reassure you that, he is our guy, and this is going to be a moment in time where we look back and see where that growth came from. And I'm confident in saying that, I'm confident in believing that. And, for me, all chips on the table, and, good, bad, and different. I'm riding with Raheem and his vision for what for us getting to a championship, winning a championship. And when that time comes, I'm going to be glad that I went all in, because, that's just going to make that time even sweeter. Sometimes, especially when things don't go your way after so long, God, people can get discouraged and this and that. But I ain't trying to hit none of that, because I've been here longer than all of them. So
right?
I'll go get over
time.
it. You know what I'm saying? Get over it, get back to work, and put the work in. You know what I'm saying? And if you let your circumstances dictate your effort, that's weak to me. You know what I'm saying? So you can't be weak. You got to be strong. And because you ain't strong, somebody's gonna come do your job, and that's as simple as it is. And being somebody who's been on a team that had a lot of success, as far as early in my career, and then being somebody who's been here for a long time, even through ups and downs, when they had reasons, they had outs to get rid of me. I've ain't like I've had a 10-year contract. I've had even my first contract wasn't an extension. It was a new contract that I got franchise tag to have. Then the second contract, the third contract was well, they had an out. They didn't have to re-sign me. They re-signed me, and then I'm on this one last year now. No guarantee money. However it go, I'm going to be ready. You know what I'm saying? And so whether they want
Have you talked to your agent about that situation at all yet? Have you had time to kind of digest it? Yeah.
Not specifically how we want to do stuff, because by the end of the day, I'm not worried. You know what I'm saying? I'm not worried in the fact of however it turned out, whether it's you play the year out or you sign an extension or they cut you. I'm do everything. I'm going to be okay, because I know that I'm ready to compete. You know what I'm saying? I'm ready to compete for a championship, however that look. And I've worked my way up to where people know, that I'm going to give my best.
No doubt.
Whether it's here or there or wherever it may be. And I've earned everything that I got up to this point. I've also did things that were best, that weren't in the best interest for me a couple times, and that's okay, because at the end of the day, it all going to come back to me in one way or another. So I'm excited, man. I'm excited. But I'm, like I say, I want to win. I'm far from comfortable, and
that's good, because you get comfortable, then you get lazy, and things happen. And I think for you to say, because those are three likely outcomes from this offseason.
Yeah,
things you mentioned. You could be released, you could be renegotiated and get an extension, or you can
play out the year.
Play out the last year. Yeah. So there's a lot going on, and to your point, you grinded through a lot of these things and earned every single penny you've gotten and moment and accolades. So it's been fun to watch you grow. The way the game has changed, even from when you first got in the league till today, do you like it? We kind of banged on the Falcons in the middle of the season, middle to late season. We kept hearing about these Wednesday walkthroughs. And I'm thinking to myself, a walkthrough on Wednesday when we got to, and it's not even you, because as a 10-year vet and coming off the ACL, you got to treat certain people differently based on what's going on. But Wednesday walkthroughs sounded so foreign to me, and it just blew my mind, because you had Monday and Tuesday to recover. Wednesday is like the brunt of putting in, all first and second down stuff, the starters, and getting going, getting ramped up, getting ready for the team that's coming in.
Yeah. Did
you like that? Was there a reason that you guys did it? Was injury or late games or whatever it might have been?
So like our schedule, say before the walkthrough kind of point happens, Usually is Wednesday is like what we call a medium day where we out there, we running, we doing Indy, we doing everything what we do without pads. But then like a Thursday would be like a ramp. That'll be our high day usually.
Okay.
And we put on pads and have the same more intense, a little longer practice, more plays. And then Friday, as you know, is like the the Fast Friday. And I've been a part of it to where Wednesday was the padded day. No matter how you feeling, you got to get this day in, and then kind of ramp it back down towards the end of the week. And then I also like this format as well. But like you said, when the walkthroughs come a little early, you know what I'm saying? I think the mindset was to, definitely keep guys ahead of the curve, you know what I'm saying? And also there's people in the, they're not just throwing, stuff at the wall hoping to stick. They're, going through all kind of data and chasing, and the new data tracing stuff is, not new for me, but
how long
like
you guys
the
been doing
catapult
that?
stuff. It's been like everybody switching to it now. Like I see even on like TV, like college stuff, and I see like Clemson post videos and stuff. I see all the guys wearing catapults, even like we do it now. I'm not the biggest fan of the catapult stuff. One, because I just think
tell the listener what catapult is.
Okay, so catapult basically tracks speeds, output, mileage, mileage as in how much steps a player take and what's the suggested range from whoever makes these thresholds for whatever player position that if he's reaching his max on certain things. And I think for me, especially in competitive sports, it can be good, but also can be misleading and bad, because if you treat somebody who has more of a threshold next to the next guy in the same general box that the system says he's supposed to be in, you're not going to get the most out of a player or certain things when he can go further than the next man can go. Because at the end of the day, I don't know where this switch of everybody the same, everybody got the same. You can't measure will, you can't measure heart. Nope. And that's why special players are special players, regular players are regular players, and people who aren't good enough aren't good enough. And everybody is trying to live in this world of we all even, let's treat it even, but it's not even. Because on game day, you need the special people to be special. You need your hitters to go be hitters, and you need the ones who good at doing their job, and that's all you're going to get out of them, to do their job and count on to be where they need to be.
That's great.
And that's why we don't get paid the same. That's why we don't, train the same. That's why we don't, you know what I'm saying? And then so
the catapult could literally tell a coach or a trainer, listen, he's hit his max, get him out of there.
Right. Yeah. And that's just one. And some people like it. Like you say, some people like it. They like, what's my numbers? They want to see their numbers every day. And just because, numbers, the catapult stuff, I had people whoop me on catapult before, you know what I'm saying? But they ain't gonna whoop me between their graphs. Right. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not getting paid to catapult. I'm paid to kick ass on Sunday. Yeah. And however I need to do it, that's how I need to do it. So I got off topic with the catapult thing, back to our schedule as far as the Wednesday walkthroughs. I think it was done with good intention. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes we do need it when you got multiple guys down, we don't, or multiple positions struggling certain stuff. You kind of need to manage the reps and stuff like that. So I don't know. I think it all come down to game day execution. I mean, what happened in the game that week? I don't know exactly what game we're talking about, but it could be as far as somebody not doing what they need to do, and that don't mean that the fact that we was doing Wednesday walkthrough.
I think one was going into Denver. So it's kind of in the middle of that losing streak after New Orleans, and it was either right before New Orleans or right before Denver was the losing streak where the 4-game slide came. That's where the questions come. Well, why are we taking days off and not going full speed? Grady Jarrett working with us here in the locker room on the Fan 680 93.7 FM.
Last couple of years, you guys have gone through quarterback changes mid-season, some via injury, some whatever. This year going from Kirk Cousins to Michael Penix, and I understand the fraternity of 53, and you guys are always together. How is it as a leader on the team, and you're one of the big leaders with the Falcons organization, going through that with Kirk Cousins going to Michael Penix, being able to be, I guess, sensitive to Kirk Cousins being put on the bench and then still supportive for Michael Penix? How do you handle that as a leader?
I think you got to control the controllables. As far as the only thing I can control is what I can do, go out there on the defensive side of the ball and leading the guys to go do what we got to do. But in contrast to that, I think that sometimes like you say sensitive to this and that. If I was getting kicked, getting drive out of there on the run game, getting stuffed in the thing, like if I'm not doing my job, I'm gonna be replaced. You know what I'm saying? All of us.
Right.
Y'all in here is the whoever y'all boss. They're gonna be sensitive to the fact that you ain't doing your job. We got a job to do.
Not.
Exactly. We got a job to do. And if you're not doing it, you got to do what you got to do. Right. You know what I'm saying? That's big boy stuff. You know what I'm saying? And if somebody come in and be more productive, you got to let them. I mean, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? None of us are here just because we're nice people.
That's right.
None of us are here because we our faith or this and that, whatever. We're good at our job.
I think that's the great thing about the NFL, as opposed to some other sports that have guaranteed contracts. Like, you can have a guaranteed contract in the NFL. See Kirk Cousins, and you could be gone.
Next year.
1 year into your
same year.
Because you're not producing the way you're supposed to produce. It's a production business. I don't care what happened to you, and they don't either. So if you're not producing, especially when you're paying you a lot of money, there's a chance somebody else is going to do the job.
What was going on in the building the last 2 weeks? Because with all the ups and downs, the bad stretch with Kirk and what was going on with him, and the games where the defense pitched almost shutouts and you stopped nobody from scoring, and then the offense was off. Then the offense scored, and then y'all were giving up points. There was a whole lot going on. Bottom line, you win your last 2 games, and we're in the postseason hosting a game in the Benz. What was going on in the branch? Because a lot of people want it, and they still want Raheem Morris out of here. They want Terry Fontenot out of here. I know y'all hear something, but I don't know if y'all know the magnitude. People are upset, and they really want to blame what they think is a lack of talent and a lack of coaching that has contributed to the last 2 weeks. What was going on in the building where no matter what, you had to win 2 games, and you're in, you didn't, so we were out?
I think in the building, man, we were optimistic, man, and we know what the position we was in, that we put ourselves in. We owned that, and I just know if these last 2 games, which I said in my postseason interview when I left, I mean, we lost. Ain't like we got whooped the last 2 games. Like we lost in overtime to a team that just lost last week, in Washington. And then a game where defense just went to hell in the last game of the season against the Panthers, which I don't know if that was a morale thing or guys not locked in, whatever. But it still went to overtime and we lost. I do think just realistically, if we do win the Washington game, that we play a little different in the Carolina game. That's just human nature, I feel like. Yep. And but I think we were so close to making the playoffs. I just feel like the same. I mean, this is 1 or 2 plays in the game that makes a difference. Where we win those games, they don't feel that way about Rod. They don't feel that way about Terry. And Falcons fans are rightfully frustrated, But that's why I said after the season, when you're emotional and if you go throw it all to him, and all right, let's get somebody new. Let's do some of this. We got to do something else. You lose on so much traction that you done gained in the things that people can't see. And with me being a part of the organization for a long time, I can just see how close we are to getting over the edge. Some of the good things that Rod and Terry are doing to get us where we need to be. Because all it takes is 1 good year to get going, and then the train it's rolling. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, we got a good quarterback now that if people didn't agree with the pick, they was mad about it, this and that. But look at it now. You didn't see it a year ago, but now you look at it now, and you see Michael Penix. You see the things that they seen in Michael to say this guy's special. Well, why'd y'all go get a quarterback? Why'd you get? You can't please everybody. You know what I'm saying? But you got to make the hard decisions when they hard, because when it's good, nobody gonna tell you did good when it was hard. But just know that, they in the back of the head, they like, I did that. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like we believed and we saw something special in him. So now, and that, as y'all guys can see, when Michael got his opportunity to do what he needed to do, I mean, it was great. You know what I'm saying? And so hopefully continue to, and he's just going to continue to get better. So, I know they're tired of hearing the same thing. Like, just be patient. Give next year. Trust me, I'm going through it. You know what I'm saying? Right. But I still believe. You know what I'm saying? I'm still putting in work. And at the end of the day, if you see if we don't believe, say you don't do the things you need to do, you're gonna miss the boat when the time is right. You know what I'm saying? So you can't miss the boat when the timing is right, and you can't just throw all things away when things go another way either. It ain't like we got railroaded this season. We had some tough losses, and I think our worst loss probably was that Denver loss, like we talked about. And now that was inexcusable, but no excuse. But man, no excuse. We lost that Denver game. We shouldn't have lost like that. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, other losses were close games and this and that. But at the end of the day, it is a production based business, and we gotta win the game.
To that point, let's talk about some of the good things you do see with the defense and with the future of the Falcons, and then we'll get into your personal business because we got to see if you get your eyes checked and if you get your nails clipped, Grady. Those are things we need to know when we return here in the locker room with Grady Jarrett on the Fan 680 93.7 FM.
He said they best not.
Nope, that's not how you say it. It's called Bet Not. Time for Bet Knots. Presented by Harris Cherokee Casinos. With Vegas-style action just a short drive from Atlanta. Visit harrischerokee.com and plan your getaway today.
Still have time with Grady Jarrett as he wraps things up here in the locker room with us, but we have to get our bet knots. We made it to Friday. Will we bet not see in the city, the world of sports, or beyond from our perspective? John Michael.
The Hawks bet not have this go to 8 and 9 and 10. 7 losses in a row. Come on, bro. Y'all got to beat some damn buddy. Trey, show everybody you should have been an all-star this weekend and give me like 38 and 11 tomorrow against the Pacers.
I got a wedding to get down to in rush hour downtown, not far from Tech. It bet not be bumper to bumper on my way down there.
You might want to leave now.
I may just be there for the reception because goodness gracious. Who the hell does
What time's the wedding?
5.
Today?
On a Friday in Atlanta.
They be getting a gift, and that's it. I ain't showing up.
Goodness gracious.
It's a good friend, and leaving him alone.
You know how I operate. If you're going to say it when a man's not here, you say it to a man's face. Mine's going to have to do with Grady Jarrett. I don't care if he wakes up with a crook in his neck. I don't care if his arm doesn't work when he wakes up one morning. He bet not go to a massage parlor for anything. I don't want him to be wrapped up in any story whatsoever, misconstrued or otherwise. I don't care, man. You get a personal masseuse,
nuts,
you
man.
go to the facility, and you take the doors off the
Have
hinges.
your fiance give you a massage.
There
No
you
problems
go.
there.
There you go.
Goodness gracious.
Good God Almighty. What's going on? And those are our bet knots. We continue with Grady Jarrett here. A couple of things before we get to some of the fun stuff. Want to get you to give us an opinion on the good stuff that's going. But the one big moment, I think, the timeout situation in Washington. You got a rookie quarterback. We're going down the field. We end up missing the field goal. It was just short. And a lot of people think if you had 5 more yards, 7 more yards, maybe you win that thing in regulation. You're not going to change anybody's mind or win over the crowd after not taking the timeouts. But from your perspective, is there anything you can give? Because a lot of people say, oh, he can't coach. He just stands there and he's watching things go on the sidelines. Raheem Morris with the headsets. He's not a head coach. From your perspective, is there anything you could add to the general conversation about that moment? Because that was a biggie in us not making the playoffs.
Yeah, I got a lot. I definitely got something to say on that. One, because actually, I was head coach, manage the game, do stuff like that. But I'm sure from coach standpoint, say when you make a momentum play in 2-minute mode, right? Mm-hmm. And you can get the offense back on the ball and run another play. Obviously the coordinator sees certain things that we don't see, where they might see a hole where they can get the ball right into the field goal range. But say if you stop the clock and allow the defense to align to the next formation call, they'll have a better chance of defending the call. And I'm sure that we thought we can be a little more efficient with the clock, get another play in while the clock is running, and maybe catch them off guard, so we can have the timeout when we need it to stop the clock or to move the ball to where we need to get a good field goal. So if it worked, then he was a genius. It didn't work, and we lost a couple of times, and we lost some seconds. And now people are frustrated, rightfully so.
He's got to eat it. He's got to eat it.
You got to, But that's I think that's a risky move, ballsy move that would have got us, the result that we wanted. But at the end of the day, there were some crucial games early in the season where he had to also make ballsy calls, and he made them, and they worked out in our favor. And that got everybody hyped because he knew that was your head coach making that call. He had the balls to do it. And but when you get into those make or break times, it's only a certain people that can live in that uncomfortable area and live with the results. And he one of them. And when it when it worked for us, it was great. And unfortunately, in crunch time with the Washington, it was something that was struggling, and we gonna learn from it. But I think his mindset was right. I think the intent was right. And it's just having a rookie quarterback sometimes it's a lot of operation that goes on,
no
to get, as you know, Brian, to get everybody lined up, to get the play call in the very time efficient way, which can be done. And he's been so used, obviously to Kirk, who's been playing for 13 years. Right. So one thing, Kirk did struggle for whatever, but he can get that thing together though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And when you so used to having that operation, and then it's Michael's first time starting, you in that mode of this we do this. You know what I'm saying? And I think it was just a little bit of miscommunication and misthought. But at the end of the day, he chose his guys over logic, and I can't fight with that.
We got like 3 or 4 minutes left, Grady. I want to get your just overall feeling on that defensive line you're working with. Dorless, Rowe. Braylon Trice going to be having like a young rookie coming in because he got hurt last year in the preseason, and he was doing some nice things, I thought. And then yourself, Onyemata. Can we get this thing ramped up a little bit and get it to where we want it to be next year? Yeah,
definitely can get it ramped up. I think we also need to bring some pieces in too. To as always good. Every year is always add and subtract to the line and stuff like that. But I think Root got a really bright future, as does Brandon. He didn't get to play as much as he would like to this year, but I think with some more coaching, some more reps, these guys are going to be really, really good players for the team for a long time.
Nice.
Who else we talked about? Me and Dio. This will be my 11th season, his 10th. Who else?
And then Braylon Trice.
Yeah, Braylon Trice. Yeah. Braylon. Y'all didn't really get to see him much, but the guy's just a natural pass rusher, big body build. I'm excited for him to come back and be able to get after the pass rusher, man. I definitely, I think he has a bright future as well. And so when you see them guys, get going, we need more, and that's no secret. And I'm gonna be doing everything I can to be my best. And I think we got a solid start going forward, but you always got to add to the room and
no doubt that'll be huge.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully this year in the draft.
Yeah, so we not only talk sports on this show, we have men conversations, like all kinds of different things. Yesterday somehow it came up. I think Finn was playing dice at a mani-pedi place.
That's
now,
right.
do you get a manicure and pedicure?
I've had before. But I don't get like weekly or nothing.
Okay.
It's been a minute since I got one. I might need to be. My folks listen to me. They probably say I need to go get.
Hey man,
You got a big event this summer. You better get your toes right.
You need to get your feet right.
You can't say I'm going to get a pedicure. You can say I'm going to get my feet hit.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. I go every 2 weeks.
Come on.
That is actually a date spot for me and my wife. Every 2 weeks we'll go. We sit
Go
down.
get your feet hit.
We try to use the platform to make people better. I've been wearing glasses since I've been 5. Finn just got glasses for the first time in his life.
Yeah.
Michael's is going. We just got to get a dragon in.
I can barely see you.
How often do you get your eyes examined, and are you up on your eye exams every year?
So funny you bring it up, man. We get it every year for our physical with the team, but for a long time, I've always wore contacts. I don't know if a lot of people know that about me. I don't really have great eye vision since like 5th, 6th grade. I started off with glasses, then went contacts my whole life, and I've been every year for the past maybe 5 years. I've been talking to my mom. We're like, we're gonna get LASIK. We're gonna go together. Don't go without me. Don't go without me. And so she went to go get her consultation without me. Now she listening, but we supposed to go together. She went to go get her consultation, and they said, she probably shouldn't do it, whatever, keep doing the contacts. And I was like, all right, well, if you're gonna go down, I'm gonna go see it. You know what I'm saying? So I had they helped me out at Emory. I really went yesterday to go see the doctor to see if I can get LASIK or whatever. And I said I was a good candidate. But, so when you're getting checked by the eye doctor for LASIK, they got to, do all these tests. They put these eye drops in your eyes. And so they basically, intentionally dilate your eyes. Mm-hmm. And already with my bad vision, and I'm wearing glasses that I found from 3-4 years ago, because before the appointment you can't wear contacts for 3 days.
Okay.
So I've been out my contacts for a week now, and I got them back in now. But a week before the appointment. And so my eyes get like dilated, and now it's like super, super bad vision because even like trying to hold the phone up close, I can't see close. I can't see far. I got to hold it like right in that sweet spot where I can see my
You're
phone.
like John Michaels.
And so all day yesterday after my appointment, if I wear my glasses, if I don't wear them, I'm just all messed up. And even this morning, I'm like, all right, bet maybe I slip it off, put my contacts back in, and I still cannot see close up to my phone. Like I have to like really push my arms all the way out to get a clear screen.
Yeah.
And
the LASIK's coming, right? You're gonna
LASIK coming, but also I think my eyes getting back regular dilation too. So my contacts by the end of the day, my contacts be back normal. Do what I need to do.
Quick shout out to Mama Jarrett for the charcuterie board that she sent us, and the food and the drink and everything else. She takes care of us every single year.
Yeah.
So thank you so much to your mom. And for everything else. Super Bowl.
Yep.
Okay. You'll be down there. Tell us who you think's going to win and why in like 30 seconds or less.
Oh, man. I think the Eagles going to get it. Representing for the NFC. I think they're just a tough team, and the offensive line, man, is just so impressive. And Saquon Barkley is the MVP of the NFL right now. He is playing amazing football, and I've always liked Jalen Hurts as a leader. And when we played him back when he was his first year as a starter, I knew he was special after that game. So I think Philly get over the hump and stop KC from the three-peat.
All right.
Well, we thank you for your time here in the locker room, your candor, and being honest with us in the city. And, man, we just wanted to get better soon, and so do you. So we'll see you around the road. Don't forget, Grady Jarrett has a dinner with Grady coming up Thursday, February 27th, as he is partnered up with Children's to help benefit the Aflac Cancer and Blood Disorder Center of Children's Healthcare of Atlanta. We'll be there, and you certainly keep doing good things in the community so the community keeps responding.